right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 658 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And today, we're going to talk some Atlanta Falcons because this crossed my mind earlier today when I was just thinking about what the Georgia Southern Eagles did when they played the Citadel. They went and took it straight to the Citadel. I mean, there were some penalty issues, we know, but for the most part, they played a very, very good game. And the Falcons must do the same thing. They need this more than the Georgia Southern Eagles, to be honest. And I'm not trying to compare both teams, but I cover both teams. And when it comes to what the Falcons need to do this season to make a statement on the first game of the season, because there's a lot of naysayers, this is definitely needs to be done. So we're going to talk about that and give you my thoughts and opinions. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor. I'm also on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So if you want to check the podcast out on those platforms, you're more than welcome to do so. Be your own program manager and listen to the show throughout the day whenever you are, just going about your day at your leisure. And also, I could be found on Twitter at VF Baller, or they call it X now, at VF Baller. Now, over there, I talk about things that don't really make it to the show, and I'll post a few links or whatever the case may be. And the website is firstandframerates.com. So let's just get right into it, because I don't want to waste you guys' time too much. I try not to make these episodes too long because I know a lot of people are busy, and I try to keep it concise. The Falcons are they're under a lot of scrutiny because of the whole situation with the salary cap, bringing new people in. The coach went 7-10 back to back, and this is the first season where he really was able, or him and Terry Fontenot was really able to put something together. And we looked at the depth chart earlier this week, and I'm actually impressed. I'm impressed with what they have. I'm impressed with what they look like. And just because it looks good on paper, that doesn't mean we're going to do much. I still believe that we're the best team in the NFC South. I know some Saints fans may have something to say about that, but I truly believe that. And we need to start looking like it day one. We need to start looking at like it week one. And I know the preseason, we look pretty decent in the preseason. We could throw away the Steelers game. I mean, we didn't play our starters. I mean, they did, and it showed. And but for the most part, we look really good. And it's time to make a statement. We go up against a divisional rival in the Carolina Panthers, and we need to sock it to them. I think I talked about this earlier in another episode, but I talked about this in a Discord. I talked about this earlier where I put in the Discord where I basically said that the Falcons need to beat the Carolina Panthers by like 17. And I'm dead serious when I say that. They need to beat they need to beat the Panthers by like 17 plus. They need to sock it to them. They need to punch them in the mouth. They need to show them that when you come in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, that there's no room that you think you're going to toy with us and play with us. With the front seven that we have, we should be able to dominate whatever they got going on. With the secondary we have, even with Jeff Okudah possibly not be playing, and with this team the way it's set up, we should be able to smack Bryce Young and company around. And I really mean, I know they got Adam Thielen, they got a couple other receivers, but I just don't feel like this team can match up with us. Now, I did say this team is going to be the biggest threat to us. I said that earlier. But more and more I get closer to the season, I don't feel that way anymore. To be quite honest, I don't think any team in this division is a real threat to us. I think we're going to be the biggest surprise of the NFL. I really feel that way. I mean, I have no problem with being wrong, but it's just my opinion. I mean, who cares? Everybody got one. But I feel right now, September 6th, 2023, I feel like we're that team until I see otherwise. Now, do I see that this team going far in the playoffs or whatever? I think this team is good enough to make the playoffs, but it all starts with week one. It all starts with the Carolina Panthers, and we need to go and we need to go on that field and basically show them who's boss. There's no time to be playing games right now. I'm pretty sure Coach Arthur Smith is really feeling that way as well. Just go out there and execute. You got all these weapons. You got a quarterback that seems like he got a good head on his shoulders, and he's learned a lot. You got a front seven full of veterans and athletes. You got a secondary that looks like there's no nonsense going from AJ Terrell to Jesse Bates. Nothing, like I said, Jeff Okudah may be playing from based on what the coach said, but he didn't practice today. You got Richie Grant, you got Clark Phillips, you got David Helms, you got the talent. There's nothing, there's no way around it. Now, to be honest with you, I think we have a more talented team than the Panthers. Now, at one point, I thought that the Panthers were going to be, like I said, they were going to be the team that we have to worry about. But the closer I get to the season, and I see what they did in the preseason, I wasn't really too hot on what I saw out of Bryce Young. He did throw a couple of good touchdown passes. I did see that. But it's like I said, it's preseason. The real season starts now, and he's coming into an environment that can be hostile. And I feel like with the players we got on the field, we can make it really tough for him. So there, like I said, there's no excuse. We need to be prepared. We need to shock the world. And like I said, with the Georgia Southern Eagles, there was no doubt. Even though we played the Citadel, there was no doubt that their defense improved. There was no doubt that this team could move the ball. There was no doubt that we could put 30-plus points up. We basically continue what we did from last year, but we just had a more improved defense. Now, with this team that went 7-10 last year in the Falcons, the only thing they have to do, really, only thing they have to do is just continue to play the game that they play and finish strong. Because even out of those 10 losses, I think it was like 9 or 8 out of those 10 losses was like one-scored losses. I mean, we was in the thick of every game. So if we just finish strong and finish correctly and not turn the ball over and make errant passes or just, get in a lead where we can just make them play out of, make the opposition play out of their element, we're going to be fine. That's why I say we can beat this team by 17+. Let it be in the fourth quarter, we're up like 34-20, and they're struggling to get back into this game. That's the type of team, that's the type of game I want to see. Can it happen? It's quite possible, but I'm going to tell you how it starts. Really, we're just going to have to contain what Bryce Young does. We need to contain what they can do on the ground or through the air. Because I'm not really big on their running game. I know they got Donta Foreman. No, Foreman's not there anymore. They got Chuba Hubbard. Yeah, they got him. And I just don't know how prevalent that their offensive line is going to be able to move our guys around for them to run the ball. So they're going to be, I want them to be forced in passing situations where, you got guys like Jesse Bates and Richie Grant going all over the field trying to, assist with, AJ Terrell to stop any passes to go around. I mean, you're going to complete a few. I mean, it's a passing league. It's going to happen. But not enough to where they say they can hang with us. And speaking of that, before I get out of here, the offense. We looked at that depth chart and got a 2 tight end set with 2 big receivers and Bijan Robinson. And now I realize that Cordell Patterson is called the Joker. I don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1, but even if he is, even if he's not, you still got Tyler Algier. We're going to have a lot of weapons going at this defense. I'm looking at it. I'm like, we're going to go more into depth with what the Carolina Panthers have, but later on this week. But I just don't see them trying to stop all of that. And if Desmond Ridder just makes safe decisions with the ball and put the ball where only his receiver can get it, we're going to be a nightmare for the Carolina Panthers. I could see us right now going 1-0, but we have to be prepared for this team. We have to be. We can't go in there just thinking that everything's going to be okay. And I think for the most part throughout this entire off season, the Falcons never had that attitude. They pretty much put their feet in the they put their hand in the dirt, and they were just trying to get better and better throughout the offseason. And it looked like it showed. I went to the preseason game against the Bengals. They looked really good. That first team looked really good. So I want to see those guys continue to, hopefully they continue to get better. And when week 1 comes, you will see a more dynamic, a dynamic situation than we've seen in the preseason. And that just been a sample of what it is, not the totality of it. You got Jonnu Smith and Kyle Pitts at double tight end sets. I mean, it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare for some of these teams. Hopefully it is for the Carolina Panthers. We'll see how it goes. So if you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think about this concept, or what you think about my thoughts and opinions. I think they need to be prepared. I mean, it goes without saying, but I mean prepared, like They're going in there to just take care of business. I want to see a 14-17, victory over the Carolina Panthers. I want to see us go in there and give Bryce Young a wake-up call. I don't want him to have a coming-out party. I want him to be, understanding that, this is the NFL, and I know that you are a decorated quarterback in college, but with this talent that we have, we should be able to make it difficult for him. It's just nowhere around it. And I think it should be easy for Desmond Ridder with all the weapons around him, and with a guy like Bijan Robinson, Cordell Patterson, you also have Tyler Algier, and you got Kyle Pitts, Jonnu Smith, and the guy that you've been getting a lot of chemistry with, Drake London. It should be no secret that we should win this game by the minimum 2 touchdowns. I reserve the right to be wrong, but I'm just looking at it, and I'm not saying there's nothing bad against the Panthers, because we're going to go into their depth chart later on this week, but I'm just looking at it. They got to be prepared. It's no other way around it. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. I'm going to get up out of here. Follow me on X at VFBaller, and the website is firstandframerates.com. Over there, you can donate to the show. You also can find other ways to support via subscribing or just sharing the link to others. All right, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I will see you guys on Thursday. All right, y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.